Like Smart. Pando, kill the beat.
I don't know who somebody need to hear this. Y'all speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? Blacks, Native Hispanics. The Germans get locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died. Y'all want the world to never forget it. Never be a Jew. You a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dumb. A gun down. The out person in the Bible had on the yarmulke. We were slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all clear. It's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world. Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs, bunch of thieves and culture vultures ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you live there. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, always the dude. Y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, this the Feast of Purim. UBK undefeated, this a easy one. We was when Jacob took hold of his heel and out came his little red. It's on y'all trying to get 13. He cursed him. He ain't the devil, who is? I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi why he give them babies herpes. I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel. Everybody try to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak. That's what I do. They riding to the core. I'm just judging them by their fruit. Cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'd punch you in person. I know this an uncomfortable subject. They making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ. They the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas. They're a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth. Niggas terrified. I'm about to go DEFCON 4. I ain't satisfied.
That is proof. That is absolute proof that you're a real Jew. Right. Never find a piece of people as like me. Chosen people. Around in America with no idea. Give me Isaiah 14 and 21. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why should white man pay for what he done?
You see how it feels. Payback is a dog. Payback is a dog. Hello.
So telling us all, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is founded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show. We could all be at peace. As soon as the kingdom bust down. The only way to the top just payback is a dog. Payback is a dog. Payback is a dog. Payback is a dog. Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slump. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I back gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cocktail. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress. She a bomb, she just dish served cold. I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. There was design 5 for our babies to pass through in the damn my king. Not be overzealous, but for my jealous, I bought a new pair of bellows. One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. Payback is a dog. Payback is a dog. Payback is a
Westworld. From Westworld. Let's get it. Don't be sure, tell them make sure. If not, we gon' make more. Clips say it hold 20, but I think it could take more. Grab a stick, fire on your camp, we gon' make s'mores. I ain't satisfied with my spot, then I'ma take yours. No matter how many roadblocks in my way, I'ma break forward. This path I'm on is so damn narrow, I just stay forward. Put them on my plate, I'm never full. I just ate more. Put them on my plate, I'm never full. Give me 8 more. Nigga, I don't sugarcoat shit. Bitch, I'm straightforward. Don't give a fuck if they don't let me in. I just break doors. Ballin' so hard they asking what team that I play for. Scammer who? They ain't stop making guns when they jaws with it. Feeling like I woke up with stage 4. They ain't want the peace loose, what they open up the cage for. Endure the pain, been through hard times, is what I'm made for. Paid my dues, never left a wage. I just rage war. So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world. Got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Still against all enemies. In high school, you was the man that's lost memory shit. Lost energy, never lost my energy. Never lose control, never losing. Dog, I plan to keep you. Lose your mind where I'm from. I ain't talking from what you see. I never lost soul. Losing time, wasting steady pacing. You off track, I'm on that. You pray to God, hoping he can save you. But the power of war, and that's a different angle. This another lost cause, and I'm just adding to the list. They not seeing me for that reason. A flash on the grip. Nigga, big priest. They gon' judge me by my increase. And I'ma keep stepping in these joys to the increase. Just got off the phone with Jacob, and he said it's time to
Hey, clap it up. Hey, Shalom, Israel. We are the Isupk. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. This is the Wednesday night law class. We're going to get into it. That being said, if you are Black, Hispanic, Native American, you one of the Lord's chosen. And that being said, once you know that you are one of the Lord's chosen, you are charged with keeping law, statutes, and commandments that the Lord set forth to all of Israel. So we just gonna get into it. So give me Revelations 2:9. Somebody give me Revelations 2:9.
So Revelations 2:9.
Come on. We're going to expose the fake, and we're going to lift up the real.
Beautiful. Slow on. Start. Let me get up on the screen. All right, here we go.
You got it? All right, let's get it.
You want to read it, right? And this is the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works, and tribulation, and poverty, but thou art rich.
Stop. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty. So this is Christ talking about the real Jews, the Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. The Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, they the real Jews. This is Christ. This is who Christ is talking about. We the ones in poverty. We the ones in the tribulation. We the ones suffering. Right? Read on.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not,
Repeat
but are the synagogue of Satan.
Repeat that last sentence.
Read the last one.
Or not.
I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not.
Stop. Who say they are Jews and are not. So nobody knows who the real Jews are, right? Right? So, but Christ is saying, I know thy works and the tribulations and poverty, right? But thou art rich. Put that back up on the screen. Bigger. Put that bigger back. Put that bigger on the screen. The scripture. Right? And the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not. So right here, the ones that the world do know the ones that the world think is the real Jews is those people over in Israel, right? Those are the Jewish. Ish means to be like, to imitate. It's a falseness, right? So Christ is saying, I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not. Not means no, right? Keep on.
But are the synagogue of Satan.
But are the synagogue of Satan. So those Israelis that's over there in Israel now, that's claiming that they the real Jews, the Jewish, they are not the real Jews. The real Jews are the Blacks, Hispanics, and the Native Americans. And it's coming out slowly but surely. That's why we go out and we bring these scriptures out. You're not going to hear this in your Christian church, right? You got a question?
I was going to add on.
Okay.
Because we say how you know is because, I mean, it says we're going through poverty, right? I mean, who else is going through poverty?
Exactly.
So-called Jewish man ain't going through poverty. I mean, it's Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans who are going through poverty.
Right.
And we're the ones who go through our, tribulations and struggles. We're the only ones struggling on the streets. You don't see a so-called Jewish man struggling. You see him on the top with a nice Maserati or, driving around, living his best life. That's what you see going around.
The Jewish man is in his heaven. He owns everything. The ones that's in the poverty, the tribulation, the real Jews, the Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, we don't own nothing. We might own a store or two here and there, but as a nation, we don't own nothing. ones in the tribulation and the poverty. You know what I'm saying? So drop that. Let's go to Psalms 147 and 19. Mm-hmm. Whoever get it, just bring it up.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
He showeth his word unto Jacob.
Stop. He showeth his word unto Jacob. So this is the Most High showing his word, the law, statutes, and commandments. He's presenting them to Jacob. Jacob is the forefathers of the 12 tribes of Israel. Right? Read on.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Right. That's what we just explained. His statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Jacob is the forefather, the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel. Read on. Verse 20.
Oh, actually, I got something to add on. If I could.
Go ahead, bring it up.
Okay. So I'm gonna say, like, everybody thinks that everybody, gets the judgments of the Most High,
Mm-hmm.
or gets the covenant of the Most High. But really, right here it says, He showed his word unto Jacob and only Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
His statutes and the judgment unto Israel only. He didn't show it unto everybody.
Right.
Everybody. He didn't choose everybody to have his judgments and statutes. He didn't choose everybody.
Right. And we're gonna bring it out. I'm read verse 20.
Verse 20. He hath not dealt so with any nation.
Stop. He has not dealt so with any nation. Only Israel. Read on.
And as for his judgments, they have not known them.
That's
Praise
all.
ye the Lord.
Yeah, you can stop right there. Yeah. Most High has not shown his statutes, commandments to no one but Israel. That's it. So, of course, the other nations are going to learn the law, but they'll learn that from us. The Most High has not given his judgments, his statutes, his laws to nobody but Israel. And this is in the Bible. You can read it for yourself. And that's just that. But we're going to continue on. So give me Leviticus 20 and 26. We're going to go into these laws. Mm-hmm. These laws, you're not going to hear these laws that we bring out in the Christian church. You're not going to hear them nowhere but in the Isupk. If you want to learn who the Most High is and how to serve the Most High is and how to keep his law, statutes, and commandments, you need to get in class. You can read along, study, and memorize these scriptures, but we're going to bring out facts. That's how we deal in Isupk. We deal with facts. You got what I want?
You said Leviticus 20 and 26?
Come on.
All right. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
And ye shall be holy unto me.
Stop. What's the definition of holy? Go ahead, Ayora.
To be set apart.
Right. To be set apart. Right. Holy means to be set apart. Means to be different. Right? Read on.
For I, the Lord, am holy, and have served you. Severed you from other people.
Stop. Do anybody know what the word severed mean? Go ahead, Ayora.
Severed, to separate is pretty much the same as separate, just like when they say when somebody's body is severed, it's the limbs severed, cut off.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Right. So severed means to cut off, to separate. You got something?
Definition.
Yeah. Let's look at the definition.
The definition of severed.
Mm-hmm.
Having been cut or sliced off.
Right. That's
ended
it.
Or broke off.
Mm-hmm. So severed means to cut to break off. Read on.
Oh, so you said read on?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm gonna start from the top.
Go
The
ahead.
book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine.
Right. So the Lord has separated you. He has severed you, Israel, to be separate from the other nations. Right? You got something?
What was that verse you brought out before? That was before this one about separation. No, I gave my word to Jacob.
That was Psalms 119 and what was that? 27?
But yeah, Psalms 147.
147 and 19.
Yeah, 19.
Read that scripture again, Leviticus 20, 26. If I lose the
The
point.
book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine.
You should be mine, the Lord's. You are the Lord's chosen people, and he has severed you from everyone. That being said, you are supposed to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead. What you got?
See, the Christian church would never bring this scripture out.
Never.
They keep this scripture separate
Mm-hmm.
and tell you, oh, no, God came for everybody.
Right.
God came for everybody. But when you bring this out, it says the Lord separated us.
Right.
He separated us from everybody else. But that means the Most High didn't want everybody else. He said, I want these special people.
Mm-hmm. The Lord don't want everybody. You know what I mean? You say that to a Christian and their ears catch on fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's the truth. The Lord don't want everybody. Christian church tell you everybody's accepted. That's not true. That's a lie. The Lord don't want everybody. And we're gonna prove it. Give me what you got a question?
I'll keep on going.
No. Give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
76.
Mm-hmm. The Lord don't deal with everybody. He show up his word to Jacob. That's Israel. Nobody else. That's a hard pill to swallow if you're not an Israelite. But that's just the way the Lord moves. You got it? All right, let's get Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
But thou art an holy people to the Lord thy God. There it is again. Holy means separate. So we just doubling down on it. The Lord don't deal with everybody. He deals with the nation of Israel, the blacks, Hispanics, the Native Americans. Read on.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Mm-hmm.
Above all people.
Above who?
Above all people.
So the Lord chose you, Israel, to be a special people, different, separated, severed from the rest of the people. And you're supposed to be above all people. Of course, that's not today. We're not above all people today because we're not keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, right? Our people is lost. Our people are in the Christian church, the Muslim mosque, Buddhism, all types of stuff. So they're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. The Lord is with you if you keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. That's what we do here in the Isupk. We keep the law, statutes, and commandments. We go out and we teach everybody the truth and how to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? Read it again.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
Like,
What's up? You got
this is another cut to the Christian church.
Mm-hmm.
They say that everybody should be equal and together and come together and just love one another.
Right.
And the Lord clearly said it himself right here that he chose blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to be above all people.
Right.
That he chose a special people for himself.
The Lord chose
to be different from everybody else.
Mm-hmm. The Lord chose a special people, his people. The Lord don't want everybody else. And we've proven it again. Right? You got another question? Go ahead.
And this is why we shouldn't act like everybody else. Because the Most High set us to be above everybody else, so we must act different from everybody else.
Right.
We can't act like everybody else and then be the same, and then can't act like them and expect to be different.
Mm-hmm. Read on.
That's why we were set below.
Read on. Read verse 7.
Verse 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you.
Keep on.
Nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people.
Stop. So that being said, the Lord did not choose you, Israel, because you were more in number. Right? The Lord don't want everybody. He don't want big numbers. This is a hard pill to swallow, but the Lord don't deal with everybody. Right? Read it from the top again, verse 7.
Verse 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people.
Right. Yeah, what's go ahead.
That's not talking about Israel, though, is it?
Mm-hmm.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Oh, sorry. So what it's saying is that he didn't set you, or he didn't set his love. He didn't choose you pretty much just because you're more in number. That's what it's kind of saying.
Right.
Like just because you're more in number, and
For instance, right? Yeah. Okay. You got the Muslim mosque. That's millions of people. You're not dealing with them. They're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. They too busy eating shellfish. You know what I mean? And with scallops and all abominations, right? You're not dealing with the Christian church. They say the law's done away with. They mighty in numbers. They got millions, billions, right? He's not dealing with everybody. Israel is small. You know what I'm saying? He dealt with, he read it again, verse 7.
Verse 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people.
Keep going.
For ye were the fewest of all people.
That's it, right there. He chose Israel because you were the few, right? When you look in these classrooms, right? You look in these classrooms, we few, but we keeping the laws. The Lord chose us. He chose you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody out in the world, that's mighty numbers. He don't want everybody. They're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. The Lord deal with whoever is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Period, point blank. You know what I'm saying? And then, it's a hard pill to swallow, but it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Just like, okay, the Lord, like back in the day, the Lord only dealt with the Lord only dealt with like one or two people to a city at times, throughout a whole city. It's not about numbers. So you got this is a cut for the camps. You got these fake vagabond camps that'll tell you, we got the numbers, the Lord is with us. That's not what the Lord just said. You know what I'm saying? That's not what the Lord just said. Christian church, Muslim, that's not what the Lord's talking about. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to Malachi 3 and 6. We're going to prove that the Lord still is dealing like that today. He only deal with few. He don't want everybody. He don't deal with this person, how the Lord works.
You said Malachi
3 and 6.
Got it.
You got it?
Okay. This is the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
For I am the Lord. I change not.
I what?
I change not.
Read it again from the top.
Okay. This is the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
For I am the Lord. I change not.
The Lord says he changes not. So just like he dealt with a few brothers back in the day, he only dealing with one brother today. The Lord is dealing with Commander General Yohana, right? That's who the Lord is dealing with today. He's not dealing with all these other camps. He's not dealing with the Christian church. He's not dealing with the Muslim mosques. Go ahead.
It's like this is another cut for the Christian church, because you know how they say the laws are done away with? Well, the Lord just said he changes not, meaning he's not going to change his mind on if the laws are done away with or not. I mean, they're going to be in place forever.
Till today. We going to get to it.
He's not going to change.
Exactly. The Lord doesn't change. So that being said, matter of fact, let's go into he don't change. Let's go into some of the things that these other camps and stuff that they do that's wrong, far as keeping the laws and stuff, right? And statutes and commandments. Matter of fact, give me Deuteronomy 4:2 real quick before we even do that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 2. Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you. And neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you.
So all these other camps that's doing their own thing, that's what's some of the things that they change. First of all, what?
You can't play video games on the Sabbath.
Wait, what?
Was that going into what you can't use electricity? Yeah, that's that Jewish fables and stuff, man. But some of the things that they these other camps and stuff, they say that we are not supposed to do is like multiple wives. You know what I'm saying? So they go and they change that, but clearly the Lord just said, read it again.
Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you.
So, being as though we keep the original law, statutes, and commandments under Commander General Yohana, who gets the vision and the info from the Most High, right? We have not changed since 1969. So anybody that's teaching anything that contradicts what we teach that is of the Lord, they're liars, they're false prophets, and they're gonna have to answer for that. Read it again.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 2. Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you.
All right, drop that, because I want to go into something else that they changed, right? Before we get, and this is a law, right? Give me Numbers 2:2.
So Numbers 2:2?
Yeah, Ayra. I want you to give me the definition of ensign, ENSIGN.
Enzymes?
No, ENSIGN. SIGN. You got it, Gabriel?
Numbers
2:2.
Yeah. Go. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 2, verse 2. Every man of the children of Israel shall pitch by his own standard, with the ensign of their father's house.
Stop. With the what?
With the ensign of their father's house.
So the context of this is a law, right? Read it from the top.
Sorry. Book of Numbers, chapter 2, verse 2. Every man of the children of Israel shall pitch by his own standard, with the ensign of their father's house.
Are you right? You got the definition of ensign?
It's a flag or ensign, a flag or a standard, especially a military or naval one, indicating nationality.
Right. So this represents Israel, right? So what represents Israel that we use? What do we use that represents us? Go ahead.
The commandments.
Close. It's a symbol. Come on. Say, what is it?
The shield of David.
The shield of David. That's the ensign of Israel. So, and what that is in the Hebrew is the Dawadah, right? That's all it is. That's King David's name in the Hebrew. That's his symbol, right? King David had the Dawadah, his name. It's just like any king. All kings back in the day, they had their stamp of approval, right? So our stamp of approval through King David was the Dawadah, the shield of David. Even the Jewish know that that's the shield of David, right? Even they know that. I mean, of course, they stole everything from us, but even they know that. So when you have these other camps going around speaking bad about the shield of David, trying to say that that's the Star of Molech, first of all, our star is a planet. That is a commandment. It says, every man of the children of Israel shall pitch by his own standard with the ensign of their father's house. And that's Israel's ensign, insignia, right? Far off about the tabernacle of the congregation shall they pitch. Right. So we done cut them real quick. And that's why we rock the shield of David. There should be no more questions about that. That should be done and done, right? But back to the Christian church. So they tell you that the laws is done away with, right? But they tell you Christ cleared up, died for all the sins and wherever they believe, which is a lie. So we can prove throughout the shadow of the doubt that the laws are not done away with, and you shouldn't be eating that catfish up in that Christian church, right? And you shouldn't be what you should, let's say what you should be doing. You should be keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. But the Christian church tell you the laws are done away with. But I guess if that's the case, if the laws was done away with, right? Why are you still paying tithes in the Christian church? Ask your pastor, why are you still paying tithes in the Christian church if the laws are done away with? He gonna shuckle and dance and job all around that question. I guarantee you might get put out the church. Real rap, you might get put out the church. So, and if that check this out, if the laws are done away with, I should be able to walk down the street and just shoot and kill anybody I see on point, right? No, you can't. That being said, give me Deuteronomy 27:1. We're gonna talk about Moses and Moses establishing the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High and passing them down to Israel.
Deuteronomy 27:1.
Mm-hmm.
It's the book of the I'm going to.
You got it?
Huh?
Deuteronomy 27:1. And Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all commandments which I command you this day.
Okay, we're gonna read that again, but we're gonna slow it down. All right. Start it from the top.
And Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying,
Stop. So let's break this down, right? Because as we said, the Most High don't deal with everyone. He only deal with a few, really one or two people at a time. So, and it says Moses with the elders of Israel, right? They was under Moses, right? Read on.
Next verse? Like verse 2?
No, it's 27:1. Deuteronomy 27:1.
I'm gonna start from the top. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day.
Moses told the people with the elders of Israel to keep all the commandments. The laws are not done away with. So if you're in the Christian church, you should get out of there. Like it's 2023. Everybody's starting to find out who the real Jews are. The Christian church is a lie. What has the Christian church done for anybody, though? Honestly, what has the Christian church done for anybody? Nothing. They take your money, tell you pay tithes, but they tell you the laws are done away with. They tell you go in and read this book, right? You get the Bible, because they do got Bibles in there. They don't know how to use them. Then they go in and they tell you start way in the back. Who reads a book from the back? Who reads the ending of a book? It don't make sense. The Christian church is white oppression, man. That's all it is. White oppression, white theologies, and it's lies, right? So it's high time to get up out the Christian church, man. It's a lie, and we exposing it now. Muslim mosque is a lie. We exposing that now too. All religions are a lie. Everyone was made up by a white person. This is facts. Google it, YouTube it, get a book, encyclopedia. Every religion is made from a white person. Every one. It's all lies. To be an Israelite, you have to be born into it, blood in and blood out. You are born into it. It is your culture, right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 28:1. Mm-hmm. You got a question? Go ahead.
Well, yes, would that be considered a precept?
For what?
The one where he says he goes Malachi, you know how we went Malachi, we went Deuteronomy,
Mm-hmm.
and then we just banged this.
Mm-hmm. Line it all up.
1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm. 3-hit quitter.
Slide.
You got it?
Kind of. This is
Let's
the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
When it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments,
Mm-hmm.
which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations
Mm-hmm.
of the earth.
So let's reread it, right? But we're gonna slow it down.
is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall come to pass.
Stop. So it shall come to pass, right? So this is something that's coming to pass. It's going to happen. This is a prophecy. Read on.
If thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Stop. If thou shalt hearken diligently. Hearken means to listen. Right? So if thou shalt listen to the voice of the Lord thy God, right? Keep going.
Okay. To observe and to do all his commandments.
Mm-hmm. In the what?
And to observe and to do all his commandments.
Right.
Which I command thee this day.
Mm-hmm.
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations.
All right. So read that last sentence again.
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations.
So the Lord thy God is he will set thee on high above all nations. So Moses is delivering the word of the Most High, right, to the Israelites, those special people, those chosen people, right? When he came down off the mountains, he had the commandments. It's not 10 commandments. That's what the Christian church tell you. That's a lie. It's actually 10 headers. And under those headers are 600 plus laws, commandments, statutes that we are supposed to be keeping today, right? So read it again. Read it again from the top.
Oh, and it shall come to pass that thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
He will set thee on high, right? The Lord will set thee on high. If you're keeping the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments, right? The Lord will set you on high, Israel, because the Lord deals with you individually, but this is going into as a nation. He will set you on high, meaning rulership, meaning you will be in the kingdom of heaven, meaning you will be the head and not the tail. Wait, you got something to say?
I was going to say, our people would rather not listen to the Most High. They would rather completely block their ears of what's being told to them. They'd rather hear a lie than the truth.
Exactly.
And stay at the bottom because our people are comfortable here.
Right.
They're comfortable being at the bottom, smoking weed. They're comfortable being here, dying on the streets. They're comfortable with it. That's why we got to stop. Because, I mean, who wouldn't want to be at the top of all the other nations of the earth?
Exactly.
Shoot, not our people, apparently, because, I mean, they're not hearkening diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Because, I mean, if we did, we'd be at the top above all people right now.
Right. But that's true. But the thing about it is, a lot of our people don't know that this is in the Bible. A lot of people don't even know that they Israel. You know what I'm saying? We are the ones setting the example and teaching them in Isupk who they are. That's why we go out on them street corners and bring out these laws, statutes, and commandments and tell our people, you're a king on the earth and you're a princess on the earth, because we don't deal with queens. Because when you looked up that word queen means a prostitute. So we don't deal with queens, right? We deal with princesses, right? So we go out and we tell our people, you're supposed to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. If you're a Black, Hispanic, Native American, because we want to be on top, right? We want to rule. Go ahead, you got a question?
Where can I find that definition that queen?
Queen. So you can't just go by modern day terminology. You gotta go just like sometimes you want to find stuff on the map. You can't just look at the modern day maps. You got to go to your history. All right. So when you go back into the history, you'll find out the real terminology of the word queen is spelled not Queen, it's spelled Queuean. Google that, Quean, and read that definition.
Quean? Q-E-A-N.
Yeah.
Won't be able to find it actually in
The concordance.
the Zumba Complex Bible Dictionary.
Mm-hmm. Whichever one y'all find it, but you bring it out.
Yeah, it derailed me on here on Google. It said that I spelled it wrong, and it brought up Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Queen. Dang, I want that right there. I want that piece of information. You said it's spelled Q-E-A-N?
I think it's Quean.
It's Q. Is it the Q? I think it was a Q.
Oh, here we go.
You got it? Bring it up.
Queen, Quean, a girl or woman, a prostitute.
A what?
A prostitute.
A what?
Prostitute.
So all you queens out there, you are living prostitutes way.
Or even better, what do queen mean spelled that way? A prostitute, a disreputable woman.
Wow. I didn't make this up. I didn't make that up. That's just facts. This is what we do in our Isupk. We bring out facts. Facts. What dictionary was that under?
I just Googled it.
Just Googled
it? It is spelled Quean.
Mm-hmm. You can look that up at home. Look it up. A queen is a prostitute. Good night. I don't want no queens. I want a princess. I don't want no worldly woman. I would love to have me a woman that's in this school. Let me be found honorable so I can grab one day. Right? A nice princess up in here. We got them. And if you want to learn how to be a virtuous princess, you come up in this school and you keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, and you change your life. And you can be that. You know what I'm saying? You can be that. But bro, go ahead, bring me back to let's bring it back to Deuteronomy 28. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28:1. Because we were saying, Moses was establishing the law with Israel, the chosen people, those special people, right? And he broke out the commandments. We established that the commandments were not just 10 laws, it's like 10 headers with 600 plus laws, right? You got laws that's not in those 10 commandment headers, titles, right? So we're gonna go into Deuteronomy 28:1. You got it?
Deuteronomy 28:1.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Right. That's what we're talking about. The Lord shall set thee on high above all nations of the earth. But you have to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. If you're not keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, you have no protection from the Most High. The Most High is telling you, keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. The laws are not done away with. We're going to prove it. We're going to get into it. We're going to keep going. It's going to get deeper and deeper. The deeper you go in this Bible, the more heavy it gets. So go down to verse 32.
Verse 32.
Mm-hmm. First of all, 1 to 15, when Moses is establishing the law, verses 1 to 14, he's bringing out the blessings. If the Israelites would listen and follow the laws, God's law, statutes, and commandments, you can find the blessings that we, the Native American, would have if we are keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. This is in Deuteronomy. Moses wrote those first 5 books. This is in Deuteronomy, one of those books.
What
The blessings.
It's 1 through what you said.
1 to 4. Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14. Mm-hmm.
And which one is the curses?
The curses start at verse 15. Matter of fact, read verse 15, are you right? Because the curses, right? The curses are those people that didn't want to keep God's laws. The curses will explain and describe who those special people are, the true Israelites, the true Jews, because they chose not to follow God's laws. So if you fit under these curses, it's a real good chance you are a real Jew. I didn't make this up. This is facts. So read Deuteronomy 28, verse 15.
In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Read it again, but read it slower.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
Come to pass means it's a prophecy, right? Moses is talking to the Israelites, those chosen people, right? And he's telling them prophecies that's going to happen to them if they don't follow God's laws. Read on.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Stop. So we established that hearken means to listen. So if thou would not listen to the voice of the Lord thy God, read on.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
That all these curses will come upon thee and overtake thee. So when you look out in the world, right? Just think about it. Those Jewish over in Israel, right? They not under the curses. You got something to say? Go ahead.
See, like our people over here thinking of why they're getting, like, why so many things are happening to them. But the lost for lack of knowledge, they don't know that the reason that they're suffering so much is that they're breaking the law, statute, commandments. They don't know that they're struggling so much, or that they're going through so much pain and so much suffering because they're breaking the law, statute, commandments. They think, oh, I just had a bad day that day. I just was here at the wrong time. Here maybe I did this wrong. Maybe I should have did it that way, this way. They think it's like that, but really it's them breaking the law, statute, commandments, so they're suffering and getting killed and murdered.
Yeah.
Because the Lord's not with them.
Exactly. Because the Lord, if you're not, like I said earlier, if you're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, you have no protection from the Lord. You just a sitting duck. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way to put it. Anything can happen to you. You can walk out your house, get hit by a car. I mean, anything can happen to you. That's keeping it real. You don't have no protection. You're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead, Ira.
I'm about to say, I want to say a couple months ago, we was in here, and I want to say, Officer Dawdo was teaching the class, and he looked at his phone, and the brother, his car brother was sitting on the bench in the park, and the tree fell on killed.
Gosh, good night. Ooh.
I don't know what, the one nobody chopping it down, anything, tree just fell, beautiful that tree just fell down.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. Anything if you're not keeping these law, statutes, and commandments, anything can happen to you at any given time. The Lord requires you, Israelites, the real Jews, the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, he charges you to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. And the Lord don't play. The Lord is not all happy and playtime. Like, the Lord will kill you Like he flooded the earth. Like in them days when he flooded the earth, it was babies. You know what I'm saying? It was babies. Everybody wasn't grown. It was kids. The Lord flooded the earth and killed everybody but Noah and his family. Go ahead, Gabriel.
So that's why you can't trust the Christian church, because the lies that they like to say, they'd be like, oh, God loves everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, God does not love everybody. I mean, if he loved everybody, he would have never flooded everybody to death.
Mm-hmm.
He would have never, destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah.
Right.
He would have never killed all the firstborn babies in Egypt. He would have never done none of that if he loved everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they don't understand.
The Lord don't play. Like, he don't love everybody, but he will kill anybody that's not keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. And that's real talk. Give me verse 44. Mm-hmm. Deuteronomy 28, verse 44. Like the Lord will kill you. He will kill you in your sleep. The Lord does what he wants. He will have mercy on who he wants to have mercy on, but it's a very good chance. If you're not keeping the Lord's statutes and commandments, he will kill you. He will judge you. And if he don't kill you in this lifetime, like there is a such thing as regeneration. You come back, you can be blind, deaf. He will get you then. Like the Lord does not play. Go ahead, Gabriel.
Okay. I think there was something that Kappa was explaining. He was saying like God. Everybody thinks that God's like a genie. You can just word on and be like, whenever they need something,
right?
Be like, oh, give me this and this and this.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's not like that. You gotta do something for you gotta work for you have to follow the law, statutes, commandments. You have to stay within the laws that he gave us to be able for him to help you. You can't just go out and do whatever you want and then be like, oh, I'm in trouble. Gee, I need help. I need help, Lord. You got in a sticky situation. No, if you did the crime, you pay the time.
Yep. Exactly. That's a good thing you brought out. Like the Lord don't play, man. People think that you can just do whatever you want, live lawless, but then wonder why. Okay, going into maybe like one of the laws that the Christian church said, you can be a homosexual. Then you wonder why you got AIDS, right? You wonder why you got monkeypox, right? Go ahead.
So I work, I study medicine. That's what type of medicine I deal with CBS specialty, because it's a specialty medication.
Start with a Z, right?
So, yeah. So I remember I was doing a person, and I needed emergency contact. He already sounded like he got a whole bowl of sugar in him. So he was like, yeah, I give you. And I was like, who is this person? Is this, brother or, uncle, friend or whatever? And then it was like, this is my spouse. I was like, well, my bad, but whatever. Like, what's the name? And he's on AIDS medication.
Yeah, see?
He's like, and I be sitting up calling up here. I hate that I even got this going on in my life. Well, brother, you already on you.
Come on now. That's how it is, man. The Lord will judge you for breaking his laws, man. We're not making fun of it, man, but it's real talk. You know what I'm saying? The Lord be with you if you do carry that burden. But I mean, you come up in this school, man, change your life. Maybe the Lord extend your years, Like the Lord don't play, man. He don't play about his judgments and his laws, man. Like I said, he flooded the earth. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's deep. That's every time you just think about that, man. Like it ain't like Cali is going through the flooding and everything now, and they complain about them little floods, over in California. You know what I'm saying? With the storms going on there now. But shoot, the Lord flooded the earth. Like, just think about that, man. There's nowhere to run. Yo, man, you brothers better stop playing with the Lord, man. Get up out them Christian churches, man. It's nothing but white supremacy, man. Nothing but white supremacy. Masses, theological, I'm saying, what's that word? Theologies, right? It's white oppression. And actually, when you ever see the movie Birth of a Nation, remember how you could tell that brother was been watching us too. So remember how they broke it down, how the Christian church came about when Massive was he grabbed one of the slaves that could read a little bit, right? And he had him teach. He stood over top of him, had him bring out certain scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Without going into, he didn't know what they really meant. He's thinking carnal, right? But he still wouldn't let him bring out all different scriptures. He was just picking and choosing certain scriptures to have the slaves feel good and then do the work, right? So all that did, right, was over the years, the master would, stand behind the slave and repeat that. And the slaves would go and work, right? So eventually, master moved away and went to like the back of the room. So it was still going on, right? He was still bringing out the same certain scriptures, and then the slaves would do the work, feel good, jump around and pass or whatever, and then they would go do the work. Eventually, over the years, master stopped going in them churches, but the slaves kept on doing the pattern of, certain scriptures, and then without the true understanding, and then falling out on the floor, passing out, hooping and hollering, feeling good, then they would go do the work. So basically, all that does is translate to today, where you can go into the Christian church, they do the same singing and dancing, bring out the same one, maybe two scriptures, you don't learn nothing, and then all you learn is you don't learn nothing, but master's not there, but his theologies and practices are still in the churches, right? So that's all the Christian church is. It's a song and a dance, hooting, hollering, fall out like you're having a seizure, and that's it. Wait, you got something?
It's like a brain or like a repetitive learning, or like what you call it homestuck syndrome. Or people are so afraid and they don't want to like live off of that because they were whipped into submission. Like they were whipped into teaching other people that, into getting stuck on teaching those that lie to other people because they were so afraid of the white man. It just kind of just became a thing, and came on today, and that's
all it is.
That's all it is.
It's modernized Stockholm syndrome, white oppression. That's all these religions are. When you are Hebrew, you are born into it, blood in and blood out. Go ahead, are you?
And they say that, we sorry for it. I don't believe that, because what we just saw, what I showed you the other day, they got a whipping convention.
A what?
A whipping convention, when they go out there, just white people just out there dressed.
Can we pull that up on the screen?
A whooping convention?
Hey, what the hell is a whooping convention?
A whipping convention, where they just, that dude talking about, I got this nice one. It's a all leather cow high whip.
What? Oh, this is new to me.
You never seen it?
I ain't never seen this.
WH.
Oh, shoot, my bad. It's like
Instead of E.
WH, yeah. IPP.
Two P's.
There you go.
Whipping.
A whipping convention.
Just go to YouTube. You can go to YouTube.
I ain't never heard of no whipping convention.
It's a whipping convention about people at church.
And then Google it. WHI.
And what they do, they just whip each other?
Nah, they just showing off their skills. It's crazy.
Now, I heard of the Muslims doing something like that, right? Overseas, like they do something like that with the knives, and they cut their backs and everything while doing the whip, and it's crazy. And this is in the Christian church.
No, that's not the one.
Not the one?
No, that's not the one. Man, I wish I can remember. I showed you that. Oh, there. Is that it? That's them dress cracking. Is that what they call it? Cracking?
This is modern day slavery, man. To the
Oh,
full.
yes. That's it right
That's
there.
all this is, man.
At the crackling, that's what it's called. The crack, they changed the name.
Brother, it is time to get out of them Christian churches. They are bringing whip people to hang a brother again. I mean, you got the KKK already up in there, so I mean, that's another thing. How are you in the Christian church and the KKK is affiliated with the Christian church?
He's not a whippersnapper. 9-year-old Archie is one heck of a whip cracker.
We came all the way from Austin, Texas to Burbank for this LA Whip convention.
A year ago, Archie watched a video on YouTube and decided to learn how to whip. He's
They
self-taught.
practicing.
Archie is here to compete for the first time at the 2019 Los Angeles Whip Cracking Convention. Featured competitions include whip making, single and double whip routines, and even accuracy.
None of us
It's the
out there,
4th
of
annual
course.
convention held here in Burbank from whip cracker Adam Winrich. Before the competition are the rules.
Everybody, you have to start out with 3 required cracks.
Archie's a combination of nervous and confident. He's been training for this all year.
I'm feeling really excited.
Time to sign up for his ever single whip freestyle competition.
Single with freestyle.
Up first is Todd Rex.
Practicing, man. Get up out the Christian church, man. It is not for the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, brother. You want to learn how to serve the Most High, you come up in this school in Isupk. Come on up under here, brother. We will welcome you with open arms, and we will show you and teach you how to serve the Most High the right way. We will break down these laws for you, and we will explain to you how you can how you show the Most High that you love him. Matter of fact, give me 1 John 5:3.
Do you want that one video of the woman?
Not yet. We're gonna get there. Give me 1 John 5:3.
So 1 John chapter 5.
Mm-hmm.
Book of 1 John, chapter 5, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
This is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
Stop. So this is the love of God, right? The love of God is if you keep his commandments, right? Read on.
And his commandments are not grievous.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll go.
Mm-hmm. That's it, right? That's it on it.
Verse 4.
So the love of God, people around saying, I love God. They not keep no commandments. You lying to yourself. Clearly, the love of God it says in 1 John 3 and 4, the love of God is keeping the commandments, keeping the laws, keeping the statutes, keeping the commandments. That's how you show God that you love him. It's not a feeling. It's not a hooting and hollering, a passing out. It's not that. That's all white oppression. That's the Christian church. It's time to get out the Christian church, brothers and sisters. Oh my goodness. This right here, pull that up, man. Since you got it, pull it up. This right here, if you have not seen this, this is horrible. This is definitely the Christian church. This is the Christian church, man. Yo, this sister, right? She having an argument with her husband. And just watch how they go down, man. Like this is atrocious. Go ahead and play it. It's not playing. This the sisters, you do not carry yourself like this sister right here. Is not a virtuous woman at all.
Oh, shoot.
Just Google it on YouTube. It should come out.
This is on YouTube.
It is. Go to a different one. Just play that one. Yeah. This is horrible, man.
Oh shit! God damn!
Knock this brother out, man, with a bowling ball.
Hit that strike, roll it. Roll the strike. That nigga sleep is over.
Right. Then went and bowled. Then got a strike. Yo. It's bad. First of all, this is a big woman right here. Right? You know she got some strength. Shame this brother, man. Shame this brother. This is not a virtuous woman, bro. This is not how women are supposed to carry themselves, man. This is a dragon. Brother, if you got one of these, man, Lord be with you. I don't want none of that. Go ahead, Capio.
They see, when a woman does it, it's okay to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But then when if the tables were turned and this was a man doing that, he would have went straight to jail.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Straight in jail.
Man, that's Tory Lanez.
But since it's a woman, they praising her. They're like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like it don't matter what the disagreement is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody should be hitting nobody, first and foremost. But damn, you done smacked this man with a bowling ball, knocked him out, got him split open, and shamed all over the internet because you want to be a dragon. Why don't you just walk away? Talk about this later. Come on, man. And then had the nerve, right, while the brother is knocked out, to go finish playing the game. Then you got people laughing in the background. This is definitely the Christian church. I smell it. This is the Christian church port all over this. Straight up, man. I mean, it is what it is. That's horrible. Man, I pray that nobody is with a dragon like that, man. Gosh, damn, good night, man. Nobody, no brother deserves that, man. No sister deserves it. But damn, no brother deserves it neither. You got to love your brother, man. That's your husband on top of it. That's your head. Give me 1 Corinthians 11:3. That's your head, man.
1 Corinthians 11.
Yeah. That is your Lord. And you just shamed the hell out of him all over the internet. For what? For what?
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Is the what?
Is the man.
Is the what?
Is the man.
Uh-huh.
And the head of Christ is God.
So establishing the order, you have the Most High, Yahweh. You have Christ, Yahweh Shai. Then who?
The man.
The man, right? Then the woman, then the children, man. Why would you shame your husband like that? I don't know what he did, but damn, you had to smack him with a bowling ball and split him like that? That's horrible. Now that man is shamed, man. But that's the Christian church for you. I bet you she in there singing and dancing, eating pork, shrimp, crab, listening to pastor. Pastor probably telling her, you ain't got to listen to him. Man, it's high time to leave this Christian church alone, man. Leave that alone. Go ahead, Gabriel.
This is why we have to have this order. This is why the Most High gave us this order, because without this order, things like that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And things like whores going out and being whores happen. And we have more whores going out. We have more people, more women going out sleeping with other men instead of staying with one man, like the Bible says to. Because sex is marriage.
Exactly. And I mean, you without the law, statutes, and commandments, man, this is what happens. Things like this, you have no protection. You have the only way you get protection is keeping law, statutes, and commandments, man. You got to come up in the Isupk, man, and find out true brotherhood, sisterhood, and learn how to love the Most High the right way. We just brought it out. You keep the commandments. That's how you show the Most High that you love him, and He'll protect you, man. The Most High will shield you from the world. He will, man, and Lord be with you, man. If you got a woman like that, I pray, man, Lord be with you. So let's go into let's keep it going. That was a little sidebar, but we're gonna go back to verse. We're gonna go back to what Moses was establishing in about the laws and stuff. Now we're gonna go to because we're gonna go back to the prophecies. Go to verse 68, because everybody needs to know that this is no. We skipped that. We're gonna go back to we finished with 1 Corinthians. That was just a little off the head. We're gonna go back to Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Because we need to show our people, the Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, that they need to keep these laws, and that these prophecies in the Bible are real. We deal with facts up in here, man. We prove all things through the Lord, right? Go ahead.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Stop. So, okay, we talking about Moses. Everyone knows about Moses. We've been talking about him. And Moses brought those special people, the Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, the real Jews, the real Israelites, through those waters, right? Away from the Egyptians, right? And this is how you know, that's another cut, how you know the Lord ain't dealing with everybody, because he killed the Egyptians, right? The Lord is not for everybody. But that being said, so the Lord said he shall bring you into Egypt again. So Moses, through the Lord, led the Israelites through the waters away from the Egyptians, right? Out of that captivity, the Egyptian captivity. So it says the Lord shall bring you into Egypt again, right? So when you define, matter of fact, Ayurok, give me the word Egypt, so we can break the definition of Egypt down, because it's not saying that we're gonna go into the place Egypt again.
Egypt, a republican in the northeastern Africa of the Mediterranean and Red Sea.
That's the place. But what is the other definition?
Let's see. Egypt became synonymous with sin and bondage.
And bondage, right? So when we were in Egypt the first time, this says he shall bring you into Egypt again, right? So in the first time we were in Egypt, we were in bondage. Moses, through the Most High, helped free us from the Egyptian slavery, right? So this says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. So meaning he will send you back into Egypt again, into bondage again. So read it from the top, Gabriel.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
With what? With
ships.
Oh, stop right there. So, right? This is how you know through these prophecies, right? Who the black Hispanics and Native Americans are, who the real true Jews are. The Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, right? This is a prophecy that Moses brought out, talking to the Israelites about keeping the commandments, right? And he told them, listen, if we don't do what the Most High tell us to do, he's going to bring us back into Egypt, meaning take us back into Egypt, into slavery, into bondage. When you look up Egypt, we just defined what Egypt means: bondage, slavery. He's going to take us back to Egypt with ships. So that being said, who fits these curses? Like nobody on the planet went into slavery on ships except the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. And this is how you prove who the real Jews of the Bible are. Who fits the curses? This is one way that you see who fits the curses, right? The blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. We the only ones that went into slavery on ships. And that's a fact. That's another fact, right? Like I said, we deal with facts up in here. Nobody else went into slavery on ships but the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. You don't believe me? Do your history. Right? You got articles on it? Go ahead, bring out some articles. Let's give some more facts. What you got?
This is life on board slave ships.
Mm-hmm.
Slave ships spent several months traveling to different parts of the coast, buying their cargo.
Mm-hmm.
The captives were often in poor health from the physical and mental abuse they had suffered. They were taken on board, stripped naked, and examined from head to toe by the captain or surgeon.
Yeah, because that's how they used to do it. The blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. They wanted to see if we were still in good health when we came here, because a lot of us didn't make it because it was a lot of sickness on them ships. It's a lot of death. We were sleeping in our own poop. You know what I'm saying? Like, say you had a sister next to you. So they had first of all, they had us lined up in like layers, right? Spread out, but lined up in layers. So, okay, say someone up top had a bowel movement. All that did was travel down the layers to the other brothers and sisters. Say a sister was on her menses, right? All that did was travel down the layers. That's why with so much sickness and death, we were sleeping in poop. You know what I'm saying? Like it was hell on them ships. So what they would do, the captain would come down and examine us to see if, you know, if he's going to make it. If he ain't, throw him over. Like they was actually throwing us over the ships. Man, this is what happened. This Moses told us, if we don't keep these commandments, this was going to happen to us, the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. This is facts. We deal with facts. Look it up. So that being said, yeah, you can keep on going. You got some more?
Go
ahead.
Conditions on board ship during the middle passage were appealing. The men were packed together below deck, were secured by leg irons.
Mm-hmm.
The space was so cramped they were forced to crouch or lie down. Women and children were kept in separate quarters, sometimes on deck, allowing them limited freedom of movement.
Mm-hmm.
But this also exposed them to violence and sexual abuse from the crew. The air in the hold was foul and putrid. So sickness was common and the heat was oppressive. The lack of sanitation and suffocating conditions meant there was a constant threat of disease.
Mm-hmm.
Epidemics of fever, dysentery, and smallpox were frequent. Captives endured these conditions for about 2 months, sometimes longer. In good weather, the captives were brought on deck in mid-morning and forced to exercise.
Stop right there for a minute before you continue on. So it said the smallpox came about, right? We didn't have that. That smallpox came from them raping us on them ships. They brought that disease to us, that smallpox. Go ahead, keep going.
They were fed twice a day, and those refusing to eat were force fed. Those who died were thrown aboard.
Okay.
The combination of disease, inadequate food, rebellion, and punishment took a heavy toll on captives and crew alike. Surviving records suggest that until the 1750s, one in five Americans on board ship died.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. So they would examine us to see if we could make it through the journey. And if they felt like we couldn't make it, they tossed us over. It was force feeding us, man. And this all comes from breaking God's laws, man. You got to keep God's laws as a nation, and so we can rise up and take over this world. Of course, we don't condone harming nobody. We don't teach that here, right? That's for Christ. Christ is going to handle all of that. You know what I mean? So don't be going out just because you find out you're an Israelite. You find out the atrocities and the curses that we're under, and you just want to hurt somebody. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? You don't do that. We don't teach that, and that victory is for Christ. Go ahead, Caballero.
I was gonna say this is how much the white man is devil. Like he decided to like call us, Africans.
Mm-hmm.
And we're completely not Africans. I mean, he put that label on us, making us think we're Africans when the Africans really sold us.
So check this out. Pull up Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron?
Yeah.
Charlize Theron.
No, the white actress.
Charlize?
I think her name is Charlize. 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 I think that's how you spell it. LIZE. Nah.
What's the last name?
Go ahead. That's her right there, up top, right there. Get that. So if you are African American, how is she you? Because she's African American. She's from South Africa. She's African American. So how are you African American? This don't make no sense. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. She's a South African. She lives here. She's African American. They say that this is your nationality. This is a lie. It's a lie, man. She don't look like us. Nah. She is African American. This is facts. Google her. Find out her history. This is facts. She is African American. Makes no sense. No, you are an Israelite, black man, Hispanic man, Native American man, and women and children. Breaking God's laws, man. You don't have no, they took your history from you. But here in the Isupk, we're going to tell you what your history is. You know what I'm saying? We're going to expose the lies. We're going to bring out the truth. You know what I'm saying? So you are not African American. The Bible says you are not African. The Bible says you are Israel. As a matter of fact, let's get into that. Let's bring that out. What is that? Hold on a second, Israel.
Oh, what do you need?
Where does it say that Israel is the Galatians 5? That's it.
Like a Savior?
No, that's not it.
What's they do?
When it says that Israel is the no, is the homeland. What is that?
Israel is the homeland.
Mm-hmm. What is that? Hold on, Israel. I'm gonna find it.
You talking about the nations will escort Israel and bring it to its homeland?
No, that's not it. I'm gonna have to find it later.
Galatians 4:26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
Con, there you go, Jerusalem.
Huh?
So Jerusalem is the homeland, right? Jerusalem is in Israel, right? So it's Galatians 4:26. So it doesn't say Africa. We're not African. It doesn't say Africa is the homeland, the motherland. Jerusalem, Galatians 4:26 says, but Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. That is the homeland, Jerusalem. You got to get through these lies, man. But it all comes from not keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments, man. And I wanted to say something earlier about, if you think just the so-called African American went into slavery for breaking God's laws, you are highly mistaken, right? Because 200 years before the so-called African American went into slavery, the Latino Hispanics went into slavery 200 years before us. So a lot of the Latinos, they think that they're white, and that's a lie. No, you's a nigga just like us. You are under the oppressions just like us. Ask them brothers in Mexico that's in them cages, them sisters that's in them cages separated from their kids, right? That's coming over the borders, sneaking over the borders, right? You being oppressed just like the so-called African American inside America, right? You cannot escape these laws. You can't make it up. Like, this is all facts. God's chosen people being oppressed. We was oppressed back with Moses. We cried out. The Lord brought us Moses through all the oppressions, the Persian, the Babylonian, the Syrian, all the oppressions. We cried out. We were breaking God's laws. We would cry out. The Lord would send us a savior. And the last one to come again is Christ. And just waiting, right? We just waiting for Christ to come down and save us from this hell. That's how the Lord moves. The Lord only deals with like one brother from a city at a time, man. The Lord does not deal with everyone. He just doesn't. He don't move like that. And the Lord is clearly dealing with Commander General Yohana, man. That's why we able to go out and we have programs to help our brothers and sisters, man. We do clothing drops to help our brothers and sisters, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Lord is definitely with us. So going back into the scriptures, right? It says, what is that? And let's go to what is that? What's that scripture? A person make a wise man mad. What's that? Bring that out. Let's bring that out. Like, life is about warfare, man. Keeping these laws in warfare. Real talk. I know I'm tired of this hell. I can't wait for Christ to come down and give the order to get us to buy it, and we take this over and right the earth. I'm tired of this hell. This oppression is I'm what they say, over. I'm ready to go. Let's get it. Ecclesiastes 7:7. Bring that out. There you go. Ecclesiastes 7:7.
And this is the book of Ecclesiastes. It's like Ecclesiastes
Mhm.
7:7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. Man, if you're not mad of being oppressed, man, I don't know what to tell you, brother. I'm steaming. I'm tired of waking up in poverty, seeing my people struggling on drugs. You know what I'm saying? Just while these other nations, they don't have the tribulation and problems that we had. I'm tired of it. You know what I'm saying? This will drive you mad, man. Keep on. Matter of fact, that's all I want from that. That's all I want from that. But go to since you brought that out, let's go to let's go to maybe Proverbs 3 and 31. Yeah, let's go there. Let's bring that out since you touched on that.
Proverbs 3 and 31.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Proverbs chapter 3 verse 31.
Mm-hmm.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Envy thou not the oppressor. Right? So you shouldn't want to be like your oppressor. You shouldn't want to, and going into that, you know, you shouldn't be. You all right, bro? You good? All right. Yeah, envy thou not the oppressor. You shouldn't want to be like him. You should want to be better than him. Right? You keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, it makes you better than him. It makes you better than your oppressor. Keep going.
And choose none of his ways.
And choose none of his ways, right? So, for instance, right, choose none of his ways. Okay, so you can go into like you shouldn't be celebrating Christmas. Like we just had to deal with that, man. Matter of fact, man, yo, I am so glad that these holidays is over. Man, I can't stand this time of the year. It drives me crazy. Every time you go in the store, you hear them jingle bells and then the you know the songs and stuff, and the next thing you know, the songs is playing in your head, and you just whistling, and then you got to catch yourself. I'm tired, man. I cannot stand this time of the year. It drives me crazy. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Ayura.
Well, now they got the hearts.
See, gosh,
One after another.
One after another.
And I noticed when I was younger, I was like, dang, I guess people just used to be a little bit lazy or behind the 8 ball on holidays because to come like now, oh boy, it's
Bruh.
right after another, one after another.
It's crazy.
It was over, they had the hearts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and brother, let me, if I could, let me tell you, that Valentine's Day thing. I'm sure Officer Kabar is gonna get into it sooner or later, but I'm gonna just give you a little quick prep about what Valentine's Day is about. It is about being gay. That's all it's about, being gay. That heart, when you turn it upside down, what does that look like? That's all it is. Your heart don't look like that. The heart, the little, yeah, that's no, it's really a behind. It's really a behind. That's all it is, and it goes into being gay. That's what Valentine's Day is all about.
Yeah, because I think I heard somebody, I don't know if it's also Kabar or somebody said it's a
Mm-hmm.
He said they do orgies.
Mm-hmm. All the holidays are pretty much based around orgies, all of them. But that particular one is about being gay. You got something?
It's about, I think, I forget it was like the history of like two gay dudes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The love for like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Too deep into the whole story.
I'm not as familiar with it. I know the premises of it, but I'm not as in depth as Officer Kabar is, but I can't wait. I'm sure he's gonna touch on it, and I can't wait to get it to hear what he got to say about it eventually. But yes, man, all these holidays is wicked. All the pagan holidays are wicked. They built on orgies, gay and being gay and homosexual, and you just don't know what demon you are serving when you are serving these holidays in these Christian churches and stuff, man. You just don't know, man. But Lord be with you that you make it here in these classes in ISUPK and you learn the truth. We bring out the truth of what demons you are worshiping, man. What gods you think you worship. That man, it's not the Most High. I'll tell you that much. Go ahead, Gabriel.
See, what our people gotta stop doing, envying her person. Because this is what our people really love to do. And this is why I said one sins by itself. Envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways, because this is what our people do. They envy the oppressor and then they go and do what he did or what he does and we talk to them. Because thinking about it, our people look at the white man and they see him and they look at what he has and they're like, damn, we got a lot.
Yeah.
I want that. And then they see how he does it, they're like, man, if he can do it this way, I can do it this way. If he can get it that way, then I can get it that way. Then they go off and do it, and then they end up being put in jail. Because the white man, it's a systematic thing. The white man is like, he's like tricking them into like trying to go and be criminals. And then he puts them in jail and uses them for free labor.
Man, it's like you said, it's system. It's a system. All about money. All about to keep you in sin and make money off of your back while you in sin. Like real talk. That's just like them brothers that's locked up, that's telling now, Young Thug and all of them, Gunner, all them snitching from the things they were doing. You can't do what the white man does. You can't do what the African does. You can't do what the Asian does. You can't do what the Indian does. All of them devils. You can't be like them. You can't. It's proven. Every time you try to be like them, man, you get locked up, killed, destroyed. Every time. You can't do what they do. This is their kingdom. This is their heaven. You in hell. To you, if you Black, Hispanic, Native American, you are in hell. This is not your rest. When Christ come back, Lord be with you, you make it, and you will be on top. Go ahead, are you
Like you said, that's not your rest. That new job you got, that paying you good, and leave your problems over.
It's not your rest, man. It's not your rest. Go ahead, Capio.
We're getting too comfortable with this place. They're getting way too comfortable going out and thinking, I'm gonna chill, try to be happy and have a good time all the time. We'll say YOLO. You only live once. Live your best life. Yeah. Because they think this is the best place. They think this place they can go and chill and put their trust in all that. But they're in war. They're at war and they don't even know.
You don't even know it, man. And one thing I'll tell you about that living your best life. When a woman tell you that, brother, run. When she living her best life, run. That's what that dragon was that hit that brother with that bowling ball. She was living her best life. Run, brother. Brother, man. Brother, keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. And Lord, allow you make it back to these classes. The Lord spare your life. We're going to keep touching on these laws, statutes, and commandments. And with that, I pass the class to Trooper Ayura.
This is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Verses 18 through 21, Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10 means tenth in Hebrew, Masharah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher, priest fund, free will offering for priests. Not mandatory whatsoever. Amount you would like upcoming holifications. Purim, the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month, Sunday 5th of March, and Monday 6th of March 2023. You find this in Esther chapter 9, verse 20 through 31. Remind Akim and Aqua to check the bulletin board in the hallway if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boot, shirt, pants, and headscarf and headband. And that concludes the ISUPK security announcement.
Macho. FC Macho.
Elijah.
Sure. Courtesy salute. Courtesy salute.
Oh,
Wait, just no, do that. Just do the courtesy salute. Just do the courtesy salute.
Oh, no, it's for Pan Aquadum. Oh, you know I'll do it.
Yeah. We gotta get this last sweet.
Pan Aquadum, please turn to face the east. You're gonna read the Lord's Prayer in the Ashram of the Hebrew. Now, Shabbat Shema, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Manatuka, Daba'a, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ma'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Mashma, Nutanana, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalakna, Kabawathna, Kasalakna, Kabawathina, Wala, Tawiyana, Manasawan, Abba, Haishana, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Watapara, Lalamim, Amen.
In the English, Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Okay, we're gonna give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah, Yadam B'tah. Turn to face the sisters. Okay, we're gonna give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak,
Yahweh Shemar Lataba Hashem Yahushua.
Yadam B'tah. I ask dismissed.